Hello, everybody. This is the Doctor, and with me today is Typical Manga Fan. And in this episode of the Typical Manga Review, we will be discussing Inside Mari, Chapter 44, First Confession. To be honest, I didn't realize this had updated already, so I'm kind of reading this live as we do the review. But you already read it, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. So we pretty much just title page is just a picture of Mari in her own eye, or Isao in her own eye, however you want to put it. They're walking together, kind of looks like they're holding hands, and it's gotten dark.
Yep. The title is called First Confession, by the way.
Yeah, and they're
And
walking around holding hands.
yeah. Well, that might mean something, but it's interesting. I actually did like this panel because I feel like she's not disgusted because even though Isao, quote unquote Isao,
Yep.
is inside Mari's body, she's always been disgusted by this Mari basically.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's holding hands with her is kind of like
Yep.
kind of like a reconciliation maybe, or just being comfortable with it or something like that, or coming to terms with
Yeah.
accepting this Mari for now, because she got what she wanted. She finally learned a little bit of who Mari may really be.
Yep. Depends on just how
Uh,
far she's kind of like taken, how much she's figured out here, which I kind of skipping ahead here, maybe more than we realized. But
so yeah, it's gotten dark. And let's see.
she's gonna, she's going home, but Isao says like if it's gonna, Isao, she tells Isao to let her know if he remembers anything more, but he doesn't think they will.
The plot doesn't require it yet,
Yeah.
not just yet.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and she's then Isao's like, okay, what should we do? Do you want to come over to Mario-san's house? And she's like, "No, I'm just gonna go home. But let me know if you remember anything else." And she's
Yeah.
like, and Isao's like, "Sure, but I don't know if I will." Huh? And then suddenly, kind of a hug, or like snuggling, or
I don't know, like she gets up close and Isao kind of just grabs her arm or something. And then
yeah.
she tells her pretty much just bye bye, Mari. I'll call you again tomorrow.
Wait, she just referred to her as Mari. I didn't notice, but she referred to Isao as Mari.
Yep.
Or is she trying to talk to the person, or the person she believes to be Mari inside Isao?
Quite possibly. It's hard to say for sure. And then we're back in Mari's bedroom with Isao. She's kind of going over that as well, like hearing her say like, Mari is probably inside of you. I finally got to meet Mari. Bye bye, Mari.
Yeah. It's sort of it's interesting because I told you what my theory was, but just you know she's looking at what Isao's doing. He's currently looking in the mirror, and I just want to know like what are his thoughts, and I guess he's looking in and saying Mari is inside his body, and he's asking if maybe Mari's been watching this whole time.
Yep.
So
And at that point, the phone rings, and on the screen it's Isao, like the other Isao, the male Isao, the outside Isao.
the one that I believe to be the real and only Isao.
Yes. And they pretty much need to meet right. He pretty much wants to meet right now and apologize for the awkwardness of the day before.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think this Isao, the one we know, she has a little bit of a blame for that. I mean,
Oh yeah,
you don't. That's not that what she did wasn't something you should be doing
yeah.
to people.
He wants to meet right now, but like our Isao, I'll say Mari for the sake of clarity right now, because we can't. It's really late and it's raining outside. But just for a little while, please. That I can't. Let's do it tomorrow. Good night. Of course, what's he? Then the phone rings again, and he pretty much says he's gonna come to her. Like, look out the window, and he's standing right there, soaking wet with. And he's got a really weird expression on his face.
I, I,
He's all puckery.
yeah, I, I'm in love with you.
Yep.
And that is obviously what the confession is referring to in the title.
Yep. That's his first confession.
Okay, so what's kind of funny?
Yep.
So that's the end of the chapter, by the way. That a lot of fans actually predicted that Isao was going to do this. That they thought that he was going to become the stalker that that Mari had always envisioned, or at least Isao had always envisioned. Like, Mari Isao slash the
Yeah,
one we
yeah.
know
Our
had always envisioned Isao to be.
like I said, when we're talking about both of them, we'll just say Mari, for clarity's sake.
Okay. So currently the Mari, the Mari that we know,
Yes.
um, Mari had envisioned in her dream that Isao was a stalker, and now that she's actually kind of making him into what she envisioned him to be, which in a way is kind of sad, because because basically he's being led on in a way, and what's
Yeah.
really sad is that this Mari used to really want to meet Isao. She wanted to talk to him. She wanted to hang out with him. I guess to get kind of be near him. I guess, but now she just doesn't want to have anything to do with him. She's just
Right.
because at this point he's just being creepy, and I feel bad because this guy's obviously socially awkward.
Yeah, and in
Um,
this case, it was kind of like Mari was Ari Sao Mari was like just like kind of caused some of it there this time around, thanks to the quote unquote awkwardness.
yeah. So
So it's, like I said, not a lot going on in this chapter. That's kind of typical of some of these chapters with Mari. Just not a lot happens at once, except for like maybe towards the very end. I think you pointed out before.
yeah, that's the way Inside Mario tends to work.
Yeah.
It shows kind of like what's like everyday life, every activities during like the main part of the chapter, and then towards the very end is like, oh, this happens. And I actually,
Yeah.
some ways, I kind of like it because it still gives you something that you could look forward to. It actually uses cliffhangers to a very good degree, and it's not like
Yeah.
Bleach where it's just like another time we don't talk about Bleach.
Like
It's not like
it doesn't feel like there's nothing happening. Like
yeah.
not a lot is happening, but doesn't feel like it.
See, that's the thing. I like how we're ripping Bleach even with Inside Mari at this point. Um, but yeah, I mean, so what do you think about this development?
It's hard to say for sure. This is one of those things. It's I think I have to see the next chapter before I can really make a final before I can make a real decision on here. But at the same time, depending on how this goes, I may end up feeling sorry for actual Isao here. It depends on what he does. Like if he goes too far, then sympathy will go bye bye. It depends on how.
Honestly, I think Mari kind of went pretty far already though.
Well, yeah, but
uh,
like I said, it's really hard to predict how he's going to react here. Like Isao seems like a decent enough guy, these social awkwardness aside, because he's not the stalker that we saw at the beginning, obviously.
but she's turning him into one, and I think that's a sad part. It's not his quote unquote not his direct fault, but it's
Right.
Mari. It's Mari who's doing this to him. She's because honestly, like you're this guy who's shut in and not talking to anyone, and suddenly this really like pretty girl comes in and she's like, "Hey, can I hang out with you?" And then she does stuff to you, and then it's just like,
And
and
watches you do stuff to yourself.
and then plays video games with you, and then she wants to actually know who you because of certain reasons. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just kind of like, yeah, what is a person to think in this situation of because we know why Mari's doing it, but what is Asao thinking?
Right. Well, that may be what we'll be finding out next time around.
It's kind of interesting. Isao wasn't even the first time Isao met Mari. This Isao, he wasn't even interested in her.
Right. He didn't even
That
know who
was
she was.
yeah. So it was just I don't like. Do you think it's gonna go to the point where Mari's just gonna completely 100% reject Isao, but not just Isao, like real Isao, but also the Isao inside her?
Yeah, like I said, if it goes with your theory, this might be part of like the real Mari coming out more.
Yeah, and then maybe seeing for herself that this is not the guy she wanted to be. Or maybe she's uncomfortable with this guy now that she's like, you know what? I don't. In a subconscious level, she doesn't want to be him anymore. Because I think I don't want to say that she thinks she finds him to be disgusting. Because I think she always realized that. She always realized that he wasn't exactly the most productive member of society. But I think she thought that there was this air of like this no pressure and she like desirability
Yeah.
and it's something desirable about this lifestyle. But now that she gets to understand through, I guess you say through Isal's mindset, to understand that this lifestyle may not be what she wanted. Maybe she's like, you know what? Maybe in the end, I hate being Mari, like the real Mari, but it
Right.
might still be better than this.
Right. Or at least this isn't what I want to be either.
Which is really sad because I wonder who she wants. Who's going if this? I wonder who's going to be if she's like going to turn to someone else. Is she going to be like Yori?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
that'd be
It's
weird.
possible, but it's hard to say for sure just yet. I mean, it could be like maybe she'll find some completely different thing to fixate or focus on.
Yeah. Um. and of course, there's also the Yori thing too. You know, how's Yori gonna uh, deal with all this? And
Yeah,
yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I feel sad for at this point. I feel really bad for Sal because he's being led on.
yeah, he kind of has been here, and like I said, he may do something that changes our mind. Like maybe he will prove deep down he's kind of a scumbag, but at the moment he's not showing that.
Well, I mean, right now he's just kind of. I mean,
Like,
he's been a nice guy. He's
yeah,
been a pretty nice guy.
yeah. So it's,
Um,
we're not in a
yeah.
position to really predict what's going on here, just what's going to happen, because he could go either way on this. I think.
Because I mean, at this point, I mean, going to a girl's house in the middle of the rain. It's just, it's a little, it is pretty stalkerish, but like,
In other contexts, it might be romantic, but this is not one of those contexts.
I think. Well, first off, she kind of did this shit to him. So I mean, to be fair, I mean, he's not really doing
Yeah,
anything
true.
that she hasn't done to him. But I mean, it's just like I feel like he has to understand that what he's doing isn't gonna work. Especially, I think the key is like just the way Mari reacted to his phone call. Not now, later.
Like, go away.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so different from the way she reacted towards him before, you know. But yeah, I think that's about it for me to talk about this with the chapter. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, I think we're good. Like I said, there's too little for me to make any kind of real guesses on just yet at this point. Like I said, Isao could really go either way depending on how this next chapter goes. And
Okay.
like how he behaves on here. So I said it's a bit of a gap between chapters, but I think we'll just have to wait and see on there before I can make a good judgment on here. Like, because like I said, I imagine next chapter they're going to talk either through the window over the phone, if not in person. But what happens from there, like if he ends up being too creepy for Mari, or if something else happens entirely, it's too early to say for me.
What if she talks through the window and the phone?
Yeah, yeah, like they look at each other through the window and they're talking on the phone at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Right? Yeah, like it's like a quick episode this time around. There's not a great deal of progress in Inside Mari just yet, but like we said, it's still nothing's quite developed just yet. So we'll have to wait and see, and maybe the next chapter or so will have kind of a wham line we can use to get some more discussion out of it.
Yep.
Meantime, go ahead and take us away.
Bye.